The Cozumel raccoon is critically endangered as according to the IUCN Red List. The Cozumel raccoon has many common names, including the Pygmy raccoon, the Cozumel Island raccoon, and the Cozumel bear raccoon. Their scientific name is the Procyon pygmaeus, and they are part of the Procyon family. They are related to two other types of raccoons, which is the Procyon lotor and the Procyon carnivorus. The Procyon carnivorus is actually the common raccoon which you may see around your house in your trash here in America. So they're closely related to them. They are only present on Cozumel Island, which is off a peninsula in Mexico. There are only 192 mature pygmy raccoons remaining, and the population is still severely declining. Again, they are only present on Cozumel Island, and on this island there are many different habitats for them to adapt to, which includes a forest habitat, the tropical forest, an agricultural habitat, and coastal habitats. Now with these coastal habitats, they primarily eat crabs. So on the coast of this island, they actually fish for their own crabs and eat that, but they also can eat insects, fruits, small vertebrates, and crawfish. They breed during September and November, and they actually birth 2 to 5 cubs at one time. They are not territorial with other species, meaning they don't have a lot of competition with other species on the island. They can actually live in high densities with the common raccoon, which we see here in America, and other species which live on the island. So they're not territorial at all, and they do have some issues with pathogens from exotic animals on the island. They are vulnerable to rabies, mange, distemperament, hepatitis, and parasites from the stray dogs and cats which live on the island. So that can cause some problems for them. But other than that, the other animals on the island don't cause them a problem. Now as for listing, they are listed by the IUCN Red List as critically endangered, as I mentioned earlier. However, CITES does not list them at all, and they're also not listed with the U.S. Endangered Species Act, and that is because they are not present in the United States. They are part of the Mesoamerica Biodiversity Hotspot, which includes the Panama Canal all the way to central Mexico and those islands off of Mexico in the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, which includes Cozumel Island. There are many conservation efforts on Cozumel Island and off Cozumel Island to protect these pygmy raccoons. Now, the residents and government of Cozumel Island want to protect the species because they bring tourists. Everyone wants to come and see them on the island. They're adorable, and they bring them tourism, which brings in capital for the island, so they are vital to be saved for these people. They are legally protected in Mexico. They are included on the Mexican list of endangered species. There's also protected areas for them to live in, and they are currently trying to make 2 more protected areas for the raccoons. They're also part of the invasive alien animal control program, and also the captive breeding program, which focuses on protecting the pygmy raccoons from the feral cats and dogs, which I mentioned earlier, which can cause them some health problems. Now there's lots of fun facts about these animals. Raccoons in general, really interesting animals, can do lots of fun things. The pygmy raccoons can actually rotate their feet 180 degrees to allow them to descend from a tree head first. So they can actually come down to escape predators faster and find food, stuff like that, to come down with their head towards the ground. Males also have an identifiable patch of orange bright fur on the back of their neck, and their tactile senses are used much more often than other animals use them. They actually use their paws to identify food before they eat it, and their sense of smell is used to identify predators which may be present around them. They also communicate with growls, purrs, hisses, and screams, which is quite different from other animals. Now, while doing this project, I found it quite interesting that there's a land animal which cannot swim or fly present on an island. So I do plan on doing more research to find out how the pygmy raccoons got onto Cozumel Island, because that's not a common thing to see. And also, I believe now that there should be more worldwide databases for endangered and extinct species, to bring awareness so that we can protect these species. Because as of right now, the IUCN Red List is the only database which we looked at on this project which protects the pygmy raccoons. And they are a vital species, which is very important to Cozumel Island and to biodiversity in general. That's always something that we should protect. Thank you.